hard to see their features.
They're tiny, infinitesimal, so small it makes you doubt.
But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out. But if you meet a Fixie, please don't let their secret out.
But if you meet a Fixie, please
Don't let their secret out.
The aquarium.
The coast is clear. The humans have left. Come on, let's go.
Masiya, why are the fish looking so tired?
Because they're not getting enough air in there. The water in the aquarium is dirty and it needs air, but the filter isn't working.
The filter?
Yes, that device over there.
These fish need our help, and if we don't do something right now, they could die.
Right. First, I'll fix that light, while you and Masiya go over there and see what is wrong with the filter.
But I want to go and look at the filter too. You're too small for this. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. And you're a giant. I mean, you're like 6 feet tall, huh?
That's enough arguing. Nolik, let's go. Well, let's check it. Not working. Nolik, where are you?
I'm up here.
What are you doing up there?
Nothing. Holding on.
We don't have time for that. Get down. We have to get this switch working.
Masiya, what's the matter with the filter?
Well, probably something's caught inside and it's stopping the motor from turning. A filter is used to keep the aquarium water clean. A motor in the filter turns the paddles and pumps water through a fine net or a sponge. The dirt in the water gets trapped in there, and the cleaned water is put back into the aquarium. Many filters not only clean the water, but also add air to it, so there will be more oxygen in the water. You see, even though fish live their lives in water, they need oxygen just like all of us.
Way to go there!
There are lots of ways for people to breathe underwater. As an experiment, try putting an empty glass upside down in water, and you'll see that some of the air stays in there. That's the idea behind the ancient diving bell. An empty bell was lowered under the water, and some of the air remained in there for the diver to breathe. And about 200 years ago, the first diving suits were invented. The diver got air from a hose that started above the water. This let the diver spend a long time under the water and even walk around on the bottom, but just not too far. Later on, people learned to squeeze a lot of air inside of metal tanks, and that's when scuba diving started. Scuba divers breathe the air stored in these tanks so they can swim freely and even dive deep down below the water.
Our work is done. The light is on, and the filter is working.
And the fish look so excited!
As if they're not fish, but monsters. Thank goodness they're behind glass.
Papus!
Just hang on. We'll be right there to save you. But I don't even have my pack-a-mat.
Ooh, look how they're chopping their teeth! They must be so hungry!
You're right. They're hungry. Nolik, come on.
I can't believe those fish. They're so ungrateful. We went ahead and fixed their filter, and all they wanted to do was gobble us up. And I'm the one who saved you from them. I was the one watching what was going on. Oh, gee.
Hold it. Do you think giving her some food will help?
As long as you're not thinking that food is me.
The remote.
Hey, Simka, the button got stuck on the remote. How can we get it back out of there? Look and learn, Nolik. Please help. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, oh, oh. Should I let it go now? Oops. Nolik, hide somewhere. Nolik, she stole the remote. Nolik? Where are you hiding? Nolik!
Hello there, Fixies. Hey, where are you?
Hey, Tom Thomas, you got here just in time. Chusaka ran off with the TV remote.
And so what? I can turn it on without it. And my favorite cartoon is just about to start.
Forget about the cartoons, will ya? Nolik is missing! I'm afraid Nolik hid inside of the remote.
And Chusaka took it. Oh no, Nolik's in big time trouble.
Tom Thomas, there must be something you can do!
Chusaka, Chusaka, come here. Where is that dog hiding? I'm gonna go look in the other rooms.
Simka! Tom Thomas, here I am! I'm over here! For now, I'll wait here.
Chusaka's not out there. Where are you? Hey, Simka.
I ran to get a pack-a-mat.
What are you gonna do with it?
I'm gonna search for the infrared ray that comes out of the remote.
That's so great! But what is it?
I'll explain it to you. Inside of most remote controls, there's a special type of light bulb called a light-emitting diode, or LED for short. When we press a button, the LED sends an invisible infrared ray. And in the TV, there is a receiver for these invisible rays. The TV understands the command that comes from the remote control and carries it out, like changing the channel or the volume.
If the rays are invisible, then how is it possible to see them?
In the pack-a-mat, I've got these special goggles that can help me.
And now what?
Yell to Nolik. Get him to close the contact on any one of the buttons.
Nolik! You gotta push one of the buttons down on the remote.
A button? But how am I gonna do that? Wait, 1 second. Chusaka Chusaks with a brain full of rocks. Meow. Meow. Oh, Mamma Mia. Now she'll eat me together with the remote.
Nothing for you here.
But here's something. There he is. He's over there.
Chusaka, come here. Do you want a hot dog? So you want to play tough? All right then. By looking out for the remote's rays. It's just a shame it's impossible for me to see them.
What are you saying? You can! If you want to see infrared rays, all you have to do is look through a digital camera. Try it for yourself. Turn on the camera on a mobile telephone. Now go ahead and press any button on the remote control and point the camera toward the front of it. You'll see a bright dot on the screen of the camera. That's the light-emitting diode working. It's letting off a special light that can't be seen by the naked eye. It's also possible to point the remote control at a mirror. And then through the camera, you can see how the light-emitting diode turns itself on. So what that means is that invisible rays bounce off of a mirror in the same way that regular light does. So you can control the TV by bouncing the light from a remote control off of a mirror. You don't believe me? Then go ahead and try it yourself. By the way, if your toys weren't all stuffed under the bed, we would have found the remote without the goggles.
Don't worry about it. When the cartoons are over, I'll put them away.
So, you done watching? Time to clean up.
The compass.
Pipe ball, hands on the deck. Aye, aye, mateys. Shiver me timbers.
Simka and Nolik, what you doing here?
We're not Simka and Nolik. We're courageous pirates. Yeah, pirates. And today we leave home for the sea. Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Hooray! You mean no? No hooray? Oh, yeah. You can't join us without a test. Go and find a special thing. Something no sailor should ever sail the sea without.
I can do it, but how?
With a map. And it's over there.
I've never seen a map that's this puny.
What are you talking about, puny? That took us a half hour to make.
From where you're standing now. Uh-huh. From here, you mean?
Guessed it right.
First, head to the north until you will find... Hold on. But where's the north?
It's where the North Pole, ice, and polar bears are.
But how do I know which direction the North Pole is?
By compass, of course. A compass is a special tool that helps sailors and pilots know in which direction they're traveling, whether in the air or on the sea. Our planet is like a big magnet that has two poles, the North Pole and the South Pole. These magnetic poles help the needle in the compass find its way. The needle is magnetized, so one of its ends will be attracted to the north magnetic pole and point at it, while the other end will always point towards the south.
That I know, but there's no compass around here.
Then let's make one by ourselves.
Out of what?
We can use a needle. We just have to magnetize it.
And how's it supposed to turn around?
In a saucer of water. Well, there you go. Now one end is pointing in the direction of north and the other to the south.
But which point's where? Well, there's the window, so that can't be the right way. The north is there.
I'm really liking this sharp little fella we've got here.
You calling me a little fella?
No, it's just the way us pirates talk.
All right then, north we go. First, head to the north until you see a sleeping monster.
Mateys ahoy! Monster on the horizon! Let him do it himself.
Now turn to the left and go 300 paces more. 300?
Exactly. I counted on myself.
Uh-huh. Okay, then that means I'll go 1, 2, 3. Now straight ahead until you get right up to the giant tree. You call that a tree? Wow, amazing! I can't believe my eyes. It's a real ship compass.
It's also called a marine compass.
The first compass was invented more than 1,000 years ago in ancient China. With its help, the Chinese were able to travel across the desert. And about 200 years later, the compass appeared in Europe. Whether the Europeans came up with the idea for the compass themselves or took it from the Chinese isn't clear. But one thing's for sure, we Fixies remember how those early compasses were built. The first compasses were made with a magnetized needle on top of a floater inside a bowl of water. Later, the needle was put on top of a pin that let it spin freely, and it started to look like the ones we use today. Since the needle of a compass always points to the north, a sailor can easily figure out which direction he needs to turn his ship. If he wants to go north, he follows the needle north. If he wants to go south, he goes in the opposite direction.
Your dad brought it home with him late last night from his work. You were asleep.
Hold on. I want to check something.
What's up?
Yeah, they line up together.
Of course they line up. If not, how else would you have gotten here?
We're done with the needle. It has to go back.
First head south 600 paces. 6 for you, matey.
The internet.
Well, maybe it's,
Don't think so. It's probably,
You call for me, children? What's the matter?
take a look.
I've never seen anything like it.
What in the world could it be?
Hit!
Maybe it's a bathroom scale?
Or a clock with a digital display.
Wait a sec. Are there instructions around here for this thing?
I couldn't find them anywhere.
That's a problem. Well, then let's try to figure it out.
What are you trying to figure out up there? What a huge hockey puck! It's big enough for a monster! And the name is so silly, T-Robot. Why don't they just call it the Trollbot? Or I got it, the Trollboat.
Please stop the racket.
So what could this thing do, huh?
I have no idea.
We could try finding it on the internet.
Where? Just run along, you two. We don't need any internets. We can handle this.
Go on, go. Don't interrupt us.
Sure, whatever you say. Come, Nolik. We'll find it out by ourselves. Yeah! How? So, you remember what it was called? A trollboat. Nah, a trollbot. You're right. Hop to it. That's not it. Oh, T-Robot. You're right. There it is. A robotic vacuum cleaner. You mean it vacuums by itself? It's a robot, so yeah. Class. There's just so much cool stuff in this computer. Nolik, this information is not on this computer. It's on the internet. From your computer, you can send a letter to another computer. You can also download a song or a photo from another computer. That's all possible because most of the computers in the world are connected to one another as part of a huge web. And this World Wide Web is what we call the Internet. Thanks to the Internet, we can take a peek at just about anywhere in the world and find information we need about anything.
It's an electronic vegetable slicer.
No, it's a printer for round sheets of paper.
There's no way.
Grandpoos, we found out what they do with it.
You're back again? You mustn't interrupt the adult.
Just wait a second. Nolik, turn it on.
Turn what on? Don't you turn on anything.
Ready, set, jump!
Help me!
No, hold on!
What was that?
It's a robotic vacuum cleaner. It runs itself.
And where did you find the instructions for it?
On the internet. Just ask and it tells you.
You can really just ask and it tells you?
Uh-huh. If you want, we can show you.
We'd love to see it.
Sure, why not? Hip. Whoa!
On the internet. Hey, wait for me!
What's an elephant weigh? What's an elephant weigh? What's an elephant weigh? The answer's easy to get.
It says it weighs 5 tons. It says it weighs 5 tons. It says it weighs 5 tons here on the internet.
It says it weighs 5 tons. It says it weighs 5 tons. It says it weighs 5 tons here on the internet. You send a letter to me. I send a letter to you. You send a letter to me. It's just so easy to do.
We're writing letters now. They're fun to send and to get. We're writing letters now through the internet.
We're writing letters now. They're fun to send and to get. We're writing letters now through the internet.
Who, what, where, and how. Who, what, where, and how. Who, what, where, and how. The answer's simple to get.
Every fact you need, every fact you need, every fact you need is on the internet. Every fact you need, every fact you need, every fact you need is on the internet.
Reflexes.
Add this to that. Now what do you get? Ah, 3. Don't you remember? Bark, bark, bark. All you have to do is bark 3 times.
That's too hard a trick for Chusaka. Maybe you could teach her to jump through a hoop.
I already tried. She just sits there. Come on, Chusaka, give it a try.
Try showing her this sugar.
Chusaka. Alley-oop. Come on, jump.
See you, Tom Thomas. It's time for us to go to school. See you later, animal tamer.
Great job, Chusaka.
Our lesson for today is on the subject of reflexes. I'll write it here for you.
What's the lesson?
Someone's late again.
Ah, colleague, my glasses are gone. Are they here?
They're right there on your forehead.
Ooh, how about that? Forgive me for interrupting.
Let's continue our class. And so,
Thanks so much.
so you turned into screws again. Does anyone know why that is?
Because we have to hide ourselves from humans.
But you don't have to hide yourself from Professor Eugenius.
But we didn't know it was him at the door.
Right you are. You had already transformed before you had time to think. And that's what we call a reflex. To explain it in simple words, a reflex is when our body reacts to something automatically without needing any time at all to think about it. When we touch something very hot, we instantly jerk our hand back. When we're about to fall, we swing our arms and legs to try to keep our balance. Just imagine what would happen if we started thinking how and in which direction to move them. So it's fair to say that our reflexes help to protect us.
No kidding. They protect us.
My nose itches. Achoo! Excuse me, I didn't mean it. Professor, sneeze. Is that also a reflex?
It most certainly is one. Fire didn't want to, but then his nose tickled and achoo. Bless you, too.
Thank you.
And do dogs also have reflexes? Of course dogs have reflexes. All animals do.
Yeah. It's something all good animal trainers know. They use the animals' reflexes to teach them tricks. Many humans teach their pets lots of commands, like to bring a ball, to count, or even to dance. But to train a pet, you gotta know what to do. A good animal trainer always has plenty of treats handy. As soon as an animal follows a command correctly, like standing on its hind legs or jumping over a hurdle, the animal gets a treat. And then the trainer makes a unique signal right away, like clicking his fingers or blowing a whistle. After repeating this training over and over, the animal develops a reflex. Once it gets the signal, it carries out the command and then gets a treat. But the most important thing about animal training is to love your trainee and never hurt it. Otherwise, no treat will work.
learned in Fixie school how you can train Chusaka.
Yeah?
With the help of reflexes.
With what?
Where's Chusaka? Call her.
Chusaka, come here.
Give her a math problem. A nice simple one.
Add this to that. Now what do you get? It's a miracle! 3! You got it!
No, it's not a miracle. Science is what it is. You know how Chusaka barks whenever she sees a Fixie around. That's what we call a reflex, you know.
I understand. And do you know how I can teach her jumping?
Well, we didn't figure that out yet.
Wait a sec, I know how. Chasing Fixies. Isn't that one of Chusaka's reflexes?
Probably,
That's
although...
great, so let's go and train the dog.
Nothing's ever too much for a good friend.
Chusaka.
It's pretty tough work being a dog trainer.
The baby monitor.
Oh, it's my old baby monitor. On. Check, check. Checking. 1, 2, 3. Checking. It's working.
Why don't we give it to the Johnsons? They just had a baby the other day.
This is mine. And I'm planning on using it.
Aren't you a little too big for it?
No, I'm not big at all.
Well, I didn't realize that you're still a little boy. And a greedy one at that.
They're never gonna notice this. Hey, Fixies, are you here?
We're here now. Why did you call us?
I gotta show you how I turned into a mind reader.
I find that just a little hard to believe.
Okay, then I'll show you. I'll leave you alone, and then you'll hide this button wherever you want. Then I'll come back and find it.
You got it. So where's a good hiding place? Well, we gotta think of one. Right here, under the keyboard. Great! Go on, Nolik. Come on in. We're ready for you.
And now, I'm going to read your thoughts. Here I go. You hit the button here. Look! Ta-da!
He really does read minds.
Oh, that was a lucky guess. Bet you can't do it again.
Well, I bet you I can.
We're gonna have to be sneakier.
Verda, she's the most beautiful girl in our class. She knows it, too, and doesn't hesitate to use it. She can even be a bit sneaky, like when she needs help with her homework. Then Digit suddenly becomes her best friend. But if she doesn't want to carry her pack-a-mat, she'll say, "Fire, please help me. You're just such a strong Fixie." But all us boys like her just the same. Digit does, and Nolik does, and I guess I do, too. Although, I really like Simka more. Or maybe Verda. Or both of them. I haven't decided yet. Verda can be difficult and even bossy sometimes. But one thing I know for sure, Verda's a good friend. A friend that'll always come help. Well, that is if she's able to pry herself away from the mirror.
I think that we should throw it down into this pencil cup. But then we concentrate on another place.
That is good, but it won't work, Fixies.
Come on in.
Uh-huh. Aha! It's in here. Tidish?
Simka, were you thinking about the cup?
No, I swear. And my mind was blank.
Then who did, huh? Uh-huh. Tom Thomas, what do you say we go again?
As many times as you want.
I know how he's been doing all of this. It's a baby monitor. That's how we can hear what we're saying.
I don't get it.
A baby monitor helps parents watch over their babies. The system has 2 units that look like wireless telephones. The parents keep one of the units by their side and put the other one in the room where the baby is sleeping.
If the baby suddenly wakes up and starts crying, the unit in the baby's room will pick up the sound and send it by radio waves to the parents' unit. Mom or Dad will hear the crying and go and comfort their child. And so he's listening to us now. This time I know what we should do. We'll hide it under the globe.
Ooh.
Go on.
Uh-huh. Aha! Huh? Where is it?
If you read our minds, you'd find your button under the baby monitor.
You tricked me. That's really not nice.
And spying on us is nice, you think?
I'm sorry, I just thought it'd be fun.
Well, anyhow, Tom Thomas, you're too old for this thing. Unless, of course, you still need it.
I'm not a baby. I was just, checking it. I'll go and give it to Mom. Mom, I'm not greedy.
About what?
Let's give this monitor to the Johnsons, and this car is for their baby boy.
I don't think that baby's big enough yet for your car.
So what? Soon he's gonna get bigger and become a big boy, right? Like me.
The armor.
23, 24, 25. Ready or not, here we come. I heard him. He ran into the hallway. You check the kitchen, Nolik, and I'll check the living room. Well, I just don't get it. Where could he be hiding? The office. We forgot to check in there. There's nowhere in here for him to hide. Inside the shark. Ha, Nolik. Tom Thomas couldn't even fit half of himself inside of that shark. Yeah? Then in that huge vase. Uh-huh. He's all scrunched up in there and laughing at us. Oh! Simka! There! Did you hear that? He is in there! There's no one. But I know that I heard a hee-hee. You imagined it. Let's go take a look in the bathroom. I imagined it.
It's so stuffy inside this armor. The arms got stuck.
Where else could he be? Who is that? Ah! Simka the Knight! He came to life!
Well, how much longer are you gonna look for me?
Armor is very hard clothing worn by warriors to protect them against swords and arrows. People started making armor in ancient times, but the full body armor that knights wore didn't start until the Middle Ages. The armor worn by knights on horses was heavy. It could weigh 100 pounds, and if a knight got knocked off of his horse, he'd need help to get back up again. By the way, the knights' horses, they wore their own heavy set of armor for protection.
Hey, did you turn into statues?
Tom Thomas? Is that you in there?
Who else? Lift up this visor, I can barely breathe.
And how come we should do it?
'Cause I can't. Don't you see? My arms got stuck.
We see. You look funny.
Funny to you, but now I'm stuck and I can't get out of here. Come on, help me out, please.
Great! Chusaka's just what we need right now.
Chusaka, what's wrong with you? It's me. Hey, stop it. Help, I can't get up.
Come on, let's undo the latches, Nolik, quickly.
Thanks for helping me.
It was nothing.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Let's put the night back together.
Uh-huh. Before Dad gets back.
Protective clothing isn't just for people who are fighting in battles. Travelers put on special nets to protect themselves against mosquitoes and gnats. And beekeepers wear protective clothes too. If they had nothing to protect them from bee stings, their job would be quite painful. Without their protective clothing, it would be impossible for firefighters to go into burning buildings and save people. And how could astronauts go into outer space without special clothing? It's freezing up there and there's no air to breathe at all. And that's why they wear a special costume called a spacesuit when they travel. The spacesuit not only protects astronauts from the cold, but supplies them with air so they can breathe. By the way, the Fixies also wear protective clothing so they can stay safe while they work.
Well, there. Did we get it right?
It looks like we got it right.
Only, where's the helmet?
Nolik went to get it. Tom Thomas! Helmet delivery!
Thanks there, Chusaka.
Whoa there, Warhorse. Calm yourself down.
There we go. It's all back in place again.
Too bad that your knight looks like a ballerina twirling around.
You see, his arm. I can't move it. It's stuck.
Here's what we'll do. Give him something to hold.
Well, how's that look?
Perfect. Now we can paddle into battle.
The vent. Tom Thomas. Tom Thomas.
Okay.
Simka, Tula, check it out. It's pretty, isn't it? Oh, splendid. It's nothing but a trinket. It's completely useless. Useless? Look how well it matches my hair clip. Useful things are the kinds of things you truly need. For instance, like this rope ladder I've got. It's splendid. And where do you plan on climbing with this thing? Now this mirror here is both useful and pretty. Oh, how splendid. Tula, you say everything is splendid. Well, here's something super splendid that I bet you don't have. Oh, what is it? It's a mechanical super claw. It must be just perfect for scratching your back. Now look what I have. A photograph of Vector. And he signed it for me, too. Are you sure that's Vector? You've got a photo of the bravest Fixie on the face of the entire planet? Yeah, and the most beautiful. Is it him for sure? No way. Let me take a look. You'll smudge it. You've been fooled. No. Yes. Jealous? You are. My photo! Oh, no! What was that? A draft. This is completely your fault. It's not my fault. It's your fault for bragging so much. Please, girls, stop fighting. Let's go find it. It's just horrible to lose a picture signed by the most famous Fixie ever. It will be horrible when that picture of a Fixie is found by humans. So where could it be? I know how we can find it. Exactly. We'll blow a bubble and watch which way it goes as it floats away. We'll follow it and find your picture.
Do you know why you can blow bubbles out of soapy water? At the surface of any liquid, there's an invisible film that is very thin but very strong. If you want to see it for yourself, fill up a glass with water all the way to the very top. Now you need to take a coin and carefully drop it into the water sideways. Then drop in another coin, and another, and another. You'll see that the water doesn't pour out, but rises up and forms a hump. That's because the water at the top sticks together. Why? Because of a force called surface tension. Thanks to surface tension, water can form drops. It also helps us blow soap bubbles, because when we add soap into the water, the film gets even stronger, but still not strong enough to stop the bubbles from bursting.
Okay, it's ready. Now we need to blow. Do it together. And... I don't think this way's gonna work. Look, it's flying! We did it! The vent! Of course! Why didn't I think of that before? Have you ever seen holes in the bathroom or kitchen that are covered with grids? Well, those are called vents. And behind the vent is a long pipe called an air duct. Unpleasant odors and musty air can be forced into the ducts and sent out of the house. And if you want that old, stale air to leave the house even faster, open a window and let in some of the fresh air from outside. Keep the air in your home as fresh as it can be. Hey, take a look! It got stuck over there! Get it before it flies away! How can we grab it? What do you mean? Don't you remember what I've got? Tidish! Thank you, Simka. What would we ever have done without your mechanical claw and your fantastic ladder? Then here you go, a present for you. Oh, thanks, it's just great. And I want to give you this. Oh, gee, it's just splendid.
Simka, are you here? Huh, what you got there, Simka?
A little mirror. It's pretty, don't you think?
Oh, you girls. You're all the same.
Paper.
Hey, Tom Thomas! You're watering plants?
Not only, I'm writing an essay for school.
I don't get it.
I have to write an essay that's called How I Take Care of Nature. Only I have to write what's true, so I'm writing what's true. Watering my plants. Oh! Chusaka. Chusaka, come here, girl. Stop. Don't be scared.
Why did you pick her up?
I want to pet her a little so I can write about how well I take care of animals.
Tom Thomas, I want to take care of nature too.
That sounds good. And what should we be doing?
We could try saving air by not breathing as often.
Awesome idea! Way to go! Saving air! Let's go for it. And ready?
Humans invade nature and destroy more and more of her riches with each passing year. They extract her minerals and oil, cut down her trees, and pollute her air and water. They do all of this to produce food and all sorts of other things. It's a shame that people don't really need all these things that they produce. They often buy something and then just toss it away when it's still almost new. And then there's all the food that humans buy and just throw away. So if you want to help nature, try not to buy anything that you really don't need. And take good care of the things that you do buy. And you can be sure that we Fixies will do everything we can to make your things last as long as possible.
That's it. Now we can write it.
Uh-huh, write this. I also do my duty by saving air. A whole 20 seconds worth. You got it?
What's that noise? Huh. I must have left it running when I needed some water for my plants.
Tom Thomas, I think you should write that you're saving water, too. It really matters, because there's not enough of it.
Nolik, that's a good idea. Let's add that.
Hi there. What are you guys up to? We're writing about how Tom Thomas protects nature. It's a homework assignment for school.
Uh-huh. I've already written how I'm watering the plants, I'm good to living creatures, how I'm saving air and water, and how I'm conserving carrots, too. I never want to eat them, especially in soup.
Not eating your vegetables? No way. Doesn't count.
You sure that?
Mm-hmm. Why did you rip your paper out?
You won't let me say how I'm conserving carrots, right? So I'll have to rewrite it.
You're not taking care of nature.
What? Where'd you get that idea from? That's all I'm doing.
No. When you keep on throwing your paper out, it means you're not taking care of trees out there.
What trees are you talking about?
Didn't you know humans make paper out of trees? Humans make paper by cutting down trees and shredding the pieces into chips. The chips are then placed in water, chemicals are added to the solution, and then it is all mixed together into a mushy, watery substance called pulp. Next, the water is drained from the pulp, and with the help of huge rotating drums is flattened into thin sheets of paper. So you see, to make new paper, humans have to keep cutting down trees. And you should know this. If every person on the planet would use one less sheet of paper, you know, they'd save 1 million trees all together.
You sure?
I'm sure. And now that you know about trees and paper, what are you gonna do next?
Hey, you know, I've decided not to write any essay for school.
You what?
I want to help save more trees by using less paper, that's all.
Oh, Tom Thomas, you're my hero.